Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lordina. I make videos helping you guys on your academic journey. I also make weekly vlogs showcasing you guys my journey as an A-level student. And as you can tell from the title, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you everything you can possibly expect when you start sixth form. When I upload this, it will be August, so you approximately have a month left until you start year 12. I have timestamps down below if you want to skip to a particular part. However, I recommend you watch the entire video, and without further ado, let's get on to the video. Workload. At first, when you start your A-level course, the workload isn't that much. At the beginning of your A-level course, because you would have been learning little to new information, well, the first couple of weeks is honestly just a bit of GCSE, to be honest. Homework isn't really a big deal. However, as you progress through the course, workload might seem a little bit difficult because on top of learning new information, retaining that information as well, you have homework and assignments, and you have deadlines for it. You have to complete it by the deadlines. So to avoid making workload really difficult for you, I just recommend the first week, just get your work done on time. You can find time to do this. I will elaborate on this later. But at first, you really do think that, you know, I'm just chilling. The homework is super easy. Yes, it will be easy. However, I recommend from literally the first week, get any homework, you get it done and sorted. The time it will take to complete your homework from GCSE to A-level, it will take longer. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the course, first couple of weeks, it might not be that much homework, but as you do progress, it will get quite intense on top of other things that you will be doing within year 12. I will say you need to be consistent from the very beginning of year 12. So this is consistent with handing work and assignments on time, as well as consistent with revision. This is really important, is because when it comes to exams or little mini tests that you will do just to view your progress on the subject, it will make your life so much more easier being consistent with revision, as when it comes to the time for bigger exams or just any exam in general or any test you do in sixth form, you wouldn't have to revise that much because you've been doing it along the way. So that is very, very crucial. And workload can vary from subject to subject, so it may take longer to complete homework for one subject than the other, but either way, A-levels is a big jump from GCSE. The amount of work you do get from subject to subject shouldn't be too different, like the time you have to complete it, and it just depends on how much your teacher gives you just in general. Exams and tests. Teachers will inform you on really important exams like the year 12 mock exams, which I recently sat just before the summer holidays, and these exams are important because it determines your predicted UCAS grades. And other important exams, not too sure if this applies to all schools, but those exams where teachers record it on like a database, like some schools will record every single test you do on a database just to see progression. Some schools don't, and some schools will only record the data for very important tests. For me, we have Go for Schools, so students and parents can see your progression throughout the course and what scores you're getting. Okay, so for the tests that I did, this goes for biology and chemistry. So within each module there'll be chapters, and within each chapter there'll be subtopics. So it will take around 3 to 4 lessons, so 3 to 4 weeks to complete one whole chapter, and at the end of that chapter we would do an end of chapter test. So we basically had a test like every month, and these little end of unit or end of chapter tests, you guys don't really take it for granted just because it's only there to help you. It really is, and it's just to see your progression and understanding of what you've recently learned. So obviously, if you are, let's just say, if you are getting a low score within your first test, that just shows that, okay, you found the topic really, really difficult, so you want to make sure that you revise that better, because if you don't understand the basics of the course, you're just going to struggle throughout the whole thing. That is what these end of tests are for, and treat it like it's an actual test. I'm not trying to say go ahead and do an all-nighter revising just for this little mini test, but actually put in the effort to revise and you will see results. Like with my first couple of tests that I did within biology, I was just banging out A's, and because I actually genuinely revised for it, I found it really easy. And it's important you actually do revise for these mini tests at the beginning of year 12. Like I mentioned earlier, if you can understand the basics, you'll find the rest of the course easier, and if you don't, you will struggle a little bit. You shouldn't struggle too much with the first couple of weeks of year 12. However, you will tend to find, and I actually found myself, that you will at some point fall back, is because the pace of sixth form is really quick. And when you do see yourself falling back on a particular subject or just handling things on time, then you want to be able to pick yourself back up really quickly on top of everything that you will be doing just in your academic life, so within school and outside of school. And the best way to do this is just organizing and planning, which I do speak about quite a lot and will elaborate in future videos. Organizing and planning is pretty much something that you really should implement within your first couple of weeks of sixth form. Within the first couple of weeks, people will be switching courses. So what you picked originally, you may find out that you actually don't stick with your subject choices throughout the whole of the A-level course. But I'll say it and say it again. Do not pick a course because your friends are doing it. It's a waste of time and it just won't work out. There is just no point of doing that. However, I would say if you do tend to find out that you do want to switch a course, you definitely want to be able to switch your course within the time frame your school gives you. However, I do say switch the course without rushing. I say without rushing is because you want to be able to give the course a chance. You might actually end up liking it and you might stick with it. However, you don't want to switch too late because you might end up having to do a little bit of catch up with the course you just switched to. I had to do this with chemistry. I actually had to do chemistry in a completely different school, but because everyone else was ahead in my class, I missed the first couple of topics, which is why I did struggle with chemistry. And out of all my subjects I have done, chemistry was the subject I struggled the most with. Course structure, I guess I would say course structure is, kind of important. I really enjoyed English literature at GCSE. I would say with the A-level course, there will be like GCSE content in there. However, there will be so many additional modules, and you want to check if that is something you want to do. Take this for example. I actually wanted to do English literature for A-level. I thoroughly enjoyed it in GCSE. However, poetry, I just couldn't hack poetry. I really couldn't for GCSE. So I didn't realize how much poetry is in A-level English literature. So I did sit through a couple of lessons to see what the poetry was like, realized it just was not for me. If I don't have even the motivation to go through the poetry and just do whatever the course says we have to learn, which is quite a lot of poetry, then I just thought that there was no point of doing it. So you definitely do want to look at the course structure of some things. It's not really that important. However, if you're set on doing something like a career like in medicine, you definitely want to do that and there's no changing your mind, then A-level chemistry, you have to do that. There is no negotiation. Regardless, looking at the course structure or not, you still have to do it. Jobs. When you're in sixth form, you are between ages 16 and 18, and this is where people start to get their driving license, start to get a car. So getting a job can really help save up for things like that, as well as other necessities and needs, and just have some extra cash in your pocket to spend on your day-to-day expenses. Quite a lot of my friends, literally so many people I know, do have a job. It wasn't until I would guess around the middle or end of year 12 people started to get a job. Getting a job for now isn't for me. I'm going to year 13 and I still don't have a job. Personally, for me, I just want to prioritize my A-levels, get that done and out of the way. Yes, having some money is good, but honestly the money can come later. A few common jobs that people would do would be working in retail or working in fast food chains. I actually did recently make a video on other ways that you can make some money. This doesn't require you actually going to a place to physically work, you can do stuff online. There's a bunch of other things which I have spoke about in one of my recent videos, so you guys should definitely check that out. For me personally, I would say at the beginning of A-levels, getting a job just really wasn't the priority. My priority was just understanding the basics. So in year 12, you may be given the opportunity to do an EPQ. This stands for Extended Project Qualification, and what it basically is, it's an ongoing project you do, I guess, for a couple of months, and the whole point of it, I guess, is just to get more UCAS points. If you don't know what like UCAS points is, it's basically like a points chart and what they use to see if you can get into university or not. I guess the higher the UCAS points you get, the more of an opportunity you can get into a course, or let's say a more prestigious university. Doing an EPQ can be very beneficial. The reason why some people take this, it's a really great opportunity to get into the university you want, even if you don't meet the entry requirements. So if you got an A, let's say on the EPQ, and there's a certain course you want to do, but you just about didn't achieve the entry requirements that the course will only accept you for, universities can take a look at that again, as well as other things like your personal statement, and actually might consider you to get onto their course. I guess see the EPQ as like a safe option. However, what this project can be, it can be about anything. It can be related to what you want to do in future. Let's say you wanted to do medicine. It can be like a medical related question. It can either be a question or an artifact. When I say it has to be in so much detail and it's like a very academic piece of writing, I think it gets the option to do 5,000 words or 1,000 words and like a project. There is like a bunch of things you can do for an EPQ. 3 periods. On our GCSEs, you will be getting 3 periods in sixth form. Honestly, it's an absolute blessing. Whether you do 3 or 4 A-levels, you will still get 3 periods. The whole point of 3 periods, well, according to what the teachers say at my school, is for revision. But I would say 3 periods from the beginning of year 12. Use it to complete homework or use it to get extra help with subjects if you need to. That's what I do. Like my 3 periods actually last around 2 hours and a bit, or just around 2 hours. Like I said, the homework at the beginning of sixth form is honestly light work, so if you're able to do that in your 3 periods, it'll probably take you just a couple of minutes. You'll have all this time to yourself, or you can just get extra help for something you didn't understand. And I promise you, if you do this at the beginning, the rest of sixth form will be so sweet. It really will be. And if you're able to do that before like the 2 hours even ends, you can just go home and relax. And this is what I love about 3 periods. I'm able to do my work at school, so when I come back home, I don't really need to do that much work, or I do little to no work at all, and I'm just chilling, or I'm just using that time to do whatever I want to do. In sixth form, people are genuinely mature. You won't be experiencing like the petty school friendship fights that you will experience in lower school. People just know what they're doing, they know what they want to do in the future, or at least have an idea, and they're just trying to get through life just like anyone else. So you won't be experiencing that sort of pettiness. There is like a maturity to people you would generally meet in sixth form. And even the people you did go to school with, like from year 7 to 11, you will find out that they have matured as well, and just everyone just in general is like a new vibe, should I say. So when it comes to making friends in sixth form, which this is something that quite a lot of people do worry about, it depends if you're going to your school sixth form. So like me, I went to my school sixth form. Obviously didn't really have to make friends. I've known everyone since year 7, so had to make a little to no effort, to be honest. Whereas if you are going to a completely different sixth form, then obviously you need to make the effort to make friends and put yourself out there. However, either situation is really not that hard, to be honest. Ways that you do tend to make friends is if there's like that one person who is in all of your A-level classes, then you know you have like something in common. Or I swear, seating plan and who you sit next to can really determine who you will be friends with. Okay, it won't determine who you'll be friends with, but it will determine who you become more friendly with. It honestly is true, like depending on who you sit next to, you might find them more approachable or not. But either way, it's generally not that hard to make friends. So you will tend to find that like in sixth form, people do tend to like be in relationships like as that age. It's not by force you need to be in one, but again, you do tend to find that in sixth form the majority of people just want to focus on themselves, which is absolutely fine. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get through A-levels just so I can go to university, you know? So like having a relationship and all that is not on my mind. But you just do whatever suits you. If you can handle the pressures of A-levels and maintain a healthy relationship, then you do whatever. But just for me personally, it's not something that is gonna happen during A-levels. There is much more that I would really love to discuss, but I didn't want to make this video any longer than it already is, which is why you should subscribe, as I'm making a little mini series for everything about sixth form and year 12 and just prepping for that, so stay tuned for all of that. You guys should also definitely follow me on the gram, as I post a bunch of things on there that you will not be seeing on this channel, so I don't want you guys to miss out. The links in description. You guys should definitely watch my weekly productive vlogs as an A-level student. You guys will definitely get insights on my day-to-day activities and what I'm going up to, prepping for year 13, university, all the academic stuff as well as the fun stuff too. So definitely turn on the notification bell and hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for that. Give this video a big thumbs up if you found it helpful, of any use to you. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.